Today I'm going to be showing you the 3 toxically masculine traits that women actually reward sexually in masculine men. Now I understand that's one hell of a statement. Like if you just say that out loud, toxically masculine traits women reward sexually in masculine men. That goes against the entire narrative. Now, what I'm going to tell you is this. The things in this world that you have been pre-programmed to believe are toxic, or the things in this world that you have been pre-programmed to believe is bad, is actually the exact things that will slowly strip you of your masculinity and make it so that way you are weaker and you are not the type of man that you need to be. And the reason why I tell you this is because if you can internalize these traits and look at them from the positive light that I'm about to show you and how this will actually help your dating, love life, and sex life, you are going to see that as a man, you will start to become who you know you need to be and deep down who you want to be. And these are traits that women reward. And since they reward them, I'm going to tell you them, no holds back. I'm going to give you the entire truth. If you stick with me until the end of this video, rest assured. Now, the very first toxically masculine trait that you have to understand deep down on a primal level is super sexy and super attractive to women. And yes, they do reward these types of men sexually, is going to be capacity for physical aggression. Now, before all of you freak out and say, oh my God, Casey's saying go, hurt people and start fights and beat people up. That is not what I'm saying. Your job is not to go start fights. Your job is definitely not to get yourself in trouble. Your job is definitely not to hurt anybody, and your job is definitely not to be a mean guy who's physically harming people. That's bad, so do not do that. What I am telling you though is you have to have the capacity to do so if shit were to ever hit the fan. So when your girl looks at you, she 100% has to know, hey, this guy is willing to protect me. This guy is willing to help me if harm was to occur to me. And this guy's willing to potentially fight for me if shit hits the fan so badly that I actually need somebody to help. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why this is important, and I'm going to tell you why this goes so deep. Okay, this is important because this is an internal trait you can actually level up about yourself. This is not an external trait. See, when guys go shopping for clothes and now you want to walk around like and take pretty pictures on Instagram of your clothing and show off your watches. Okay, that's external traits. That's external validation seeking. When you got your big pretty follower account on Instagram with your 100,000 followers on Instagram, those are external status triggers, okay? Even a guy's bank account. Yeah, he has ability to have wealth and to provide, but these are external things, okay? What I'm telling you is this: if none of that stuff existed, if the modern world didn't exist where you have money and you have status and you have these things, and you just were, let's say, 1,000 or 2,000 years ago in the wild, where she looks at a guy and she has to be able to make the deciding factor for herself. Is this guy able to save me and protect me if anything bad were to happen, whether it be a wild animal attacking me, somebody hurting me, blah, blah, blah. That is a quick split decision of an internal attraction trigger you can control about yourself. This is why it is important to be in the gym. It is important to learn how to carry yourself properly. It is important to potentially learn a martial art so that way you are able to actually defend, okay? This does not mean hurt people. You need to be a good, stable, emotionally controlled man who doesn't use these things to hurt anybody. But what I'm saying is you have the capacity to do so because of the man that you've made yourself. And that includes strength, that includes ability to fight, potentially if you learn a martial art, and that includes having physical muscle mass and strength, okay? But this goes one step deeper. This also has to be wired into your attitude, okay? Attitude is huge. So you can have the biggest, most jacked muscles in the world, but if a woman can tell by your attitude and your demeanor that you're skittish, you're a coward, right? You're weak in your attitude and your demeanor, or when something does actually happen, you're too afraid to step up, that will kill all desire. So the very first quote unquote toxically masculine trait that's actually super attractive to women is the ability and the capacity to potentially display physical aggression to keep a woman safe. But you have to use this for good, and you can only be a good man, okay? Do not use this to go hurt anybody. Do not use this to start fights. Do not use this to pick fights, and do not use this to actually hurt anybody, okay? That is what I'm saying. The second is going to be controversial once again, okay? But this trait you need to understand. It is being unapologetic for the decisions that you make as a man, regardless of how it makes the woman feel. I'm going to explain to you why this is so drastically attractive to women, okay? Here's what you have to understand. We live in a world today and in a society today where everybody puts their feelings first. And if it hurts somebody else's feelings in any way, shape, or form, that makes automatically by default the decision that you said or the decision that you claimed to be true automatically wrong based off of how it made the other person feel. This could not be further from the truth. Okay, the reason why it could not be further from the truth is because regardless of how something makes a person feel or not, does not make it more or less true. The fact still remains the fact. When you are unapologetic in your decisions that you choose, when you are leading the relationship as a man, it shows strength. It shows that you're confident in your decision and you're in your decision making and your decisiveness. It also shows leadership capabilities, and it also shows the type of man that a woman would want to be led by. Now, if a decision or a statement that you say that you 100% believe in is true, never, and I mean never, go back on your word in front of a woman and change your mind or agree with her just because it makes her feel bad. I'm going to explain why. You can 100% say, I'm sorry you feel that way. You can have empathy and you can have sympathy and you can say, I'm sorry that that makes you feel that way, and I'm sorry that your emotions feel that right now, right? I'm sorry that you believe that. Okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. However, I'm not sorry for the decision that I made. And that's what's very important, is that as a man, she's consistently looking for a guy who's congruent within himself, right? Congruent meaning his thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions, and beliefs all align. If you believe something to be true, and you notice that what you believe to be true, you expressed verbally, and all of a sudden that created an adverse effect or a negative reaction emotionally in the woman that you're with, if you step back, right, and you go back on your word, now it looks like you're weak, right? Now it looks like you don't even trust your own masculine leadership or your own masculine judgment. This is going to kill desire in the long term. In the short term, okay, you're going to have to let her emotions settle, and you can apologize for her feeling that way. You can say, I'm sorry you feel that way, but never, and I mean never, ever apologize for a decision that you made when you know it to be true. Being unapologetic about your decision making in the world that we live in today, that is going to look toxic and that's going to look bad. However, this is not. This is the type of masculine, rational leadership that a woman is looking for. And the third trait, okay, to some of you who have never said this and you have never expressed this to yourself, this is going to feel different as a man, rest assured. The third trait, okay, is being assertive and in control. Now I'm going to explain why this is looked at as bad today. If you're an assertive man who goes after and gets what he wants, this has been framed in a negative connotation to where you are doing things with malicious intent and you're stomping on other people to get what you want. And once again, that could not be further from the truth. Real competence and real finesse in life can come from you knowing how to be a good man and play the games of life, play the entire game of life. And I don't care if you're talking in the corporate office, I don't care if you're talking about in the boardroom, I don't care if you're talking about in your entrepreneurial endeavors, I don't care if you're talking about in the dating game. You need to display competence as a man to get the results in life that you're wanting. And that requires you to be assertive. That requires you to have the ability and the balls to say no when something isn't going your way and you don't want that to happen. You have to put a hard line in the sand and say, no, absolutely not. That is not how we're going to do things. That in and of itself to a woman is sexy. A man who's assertive and a man who can say no. But the second piece to this is you being in control. Okay, in control means you are a leader and you are leading. So what that means is if you set a date with a woman, okay, and you just choose the location and you bring her along for your ride, you're in control of that situation. If you say, cool, let's go to this movie, you're in control of the situation, right? If you're married or you're in a relationship or a woman lives with you, right, maybe you're in control of how you believe you should divvy up the finances when it comes to, this is how much we're going to allocate for savings, this is how much we're putting to the mortgage, this is how much we are going to invest in our, investment or retirement funds every month. A woman likes to see that a man is structured. When you have that element of control, she trusts your leadership. So this is where I want you to practice this once and practice how foreign this sounds to most men. There's two things that you want to say, or that I have said. Just say this once. Close your eyes and actually say this once. Say, I am powerful, or I want to be powerful. Even if you think that that's weird to say, just say it. Say, I'm powerful, or I want to be powerful. Right? Most people don't say that because they associate the word power with evil or bad malicious intent. And this couldn't be further from the truth. You can be powerful and you can be very good, or you could be powerful and you could be bad, right? So use these things that I'm telling you for only good and pure intent. You can be a good man who's powerful, right? Say this next thing. Say, I want to be in control, right? I like control. Okay, it sounds different. Most guys don't tell themselves this, or they've never expressed that out loud because it feels icky to them. And it's because of the modern world that we live in. This couldn't be further from the truth. Me as a man, I want to be a powerful man. I want to be in control. And I want to be the type of man to where not only can I lead myself, but I could lead a woman. I could lead a potential future family, right? If I am building a great business one day, I could lead an office. These are good things. So these are the 3 toxically masculine traits that if you adapt your dating and love life will get a lot better. If you like this video, I want you to go to the link in the description right now. I want you to check out that full presentation that I put together for you with MBT. If you like this video, hit the like button, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.